Boris and welcome, my friends. Today I want to talk about habits which can make your life way better and happier. And I want to talk about how to live a happy life. You know, the Scandinavian countries are ranked in the first places when it comes to happiness and where the people are happiest living on this earth. And we have some habits which we have integrated and cultivated in our everyday life. And I want to introduce you 10 of the Nordic habits which may help you to structure your life better, to be happier every single day. And these are not quite big changes or something dramatic. It's just little habits and it doesn't cost anything. It is just very often a state of mind where you can be careful and where you can change little things just to feel better. So the first thing, it has to do with the seasons. It is your environment and it is called Friluftsliv. This means go outside as much as you can, be outside as much as you can. You don't need any special occasion. You don't need a sunny day. So it is not dependent of the weather. And it means just be outside every day as much as you can. Leave your home, leave your work, leave your routine and go outside and breathe the fresh air. Just listen to the birds, listen to the leaves in the trees or the wind. Feel the wind on your face, feel the cold, the winter wind on your face, even when it is minus 30 degrees. It means just have a break and be part of the nature surrounding you. And when you live in a city, this is not a problem because you can go to the park or you can go to your garden or something like this. You can do it wherever you want, and you will see when you're out in nature, you have like a state where your mind becomes clearer, where your heartbeat becomes calmer, where the thoughts you have can go in every direction. They are not bound on your computer or your desk or your children or the meal you're preparing for this evening. It just means you can be outside and you can stay a little in this quietness. And it is not dependent, as I said, from the weather. We do it every time. We do it in winter time, we do it in summer, when in winter we have a lot of snow. And for example, when we have children, we leave the children outside even when it is minus degrees. It is not important. You just can pick the right clothes. Your state of mind when you go outside a lot should be and can be contentment. You can feel satisfied. You get a little calmness when you do it every day. And your living becomes a way wider because you don't rush from one building to another. You have a lot of places where you can be, and you have a lot of places where your mind can be. So it is a good thing to be outside, and you can do activities. You can just sit outside and have a coffee. You can be active. Besides, when you are outside every day, you count some steps. It is also good for your body. It is good for your health. And it is, of course, good for your mental state. So this is the first thing, which costs nothing, and you can do it whenever you want and wherever you want. So go outside every day as much as you can. And when you are outside this much, and especially in winter time, because as I said, we embrace every season, and the seasons have quite a lot of changes here, as well as in temperatures as in the darkness and the light. We have the darkness in the mid of winter, where we have two hours of sunlight every day, maybe. And we have the midnight sun in the summer, where we have no night at all. Yeah, so we embrace the seasons. And when you do this, we come to the second point, and this is quite a modern word. It is Hygge. It is a Danish word, which means make yourself a cozy home. So when you come from outside and come to your home, or when you come from work, or wherever you come from, and you come into your living space, into your apartment, into your house, into your flat, wherever, it should feel like you can exhale. It should be a cozy place. It should be a quiet, good place where you feel content, where you feel safe. And it is not needed to be rich to make some extraordinary things and to have the most expensive furniture or to have the most square feet or square meters. It is just about make your home your home. What does it mean? It means surround yourself with the things which are necessary, of course, and it means that you surround yourself with the things you love. And when you look at them, that they spend joy and that you think, ah, yes, this is a good thing. I can need this and this. And don't fill your home with things which are not necessary, which are too much, which are not your own, because a lot of people, they have apartments or something which don't tell who lives there. You could exchange them, yeah, but you can go around your flat and you can look at the things and think, do I really need this or that? Is it good that I have it? Does it spend joy? Is it nice when I look at it? And you see, yeah, of course, you may think now of minimalism, but it is minimalism in the way that you should get rid of everything which is just a burden, which you don't need anymore, or which you keep because you have it for a long time. But think about it and get rid of old things, get rid of things which had their time. It's okay. Maybe sometimes you have things which have been very nice and which have accompanied you for so many years, but sometimes they had their time and they can go. And when you surround yourself with good things and with things which make you happy, then you will see when you come into your cozy living space that it is like being embraced from your own things. And it is a place where you don't feel the rush. When you have a nice meal, for example, you stay at the table and you just talk and you have a good time. You don't rush in the kitchen to do the dishes or anything like this. It means you have corners in your living room, for example, where you can just sit and read a book or have a coffee or just look at the fire in the fireplace. You don't have to be busy all the time. Hygge means also you have a space where you can calm down, where you can sit, where you can just be. A lot of people have the mindset that they have to be busy all the time, and when they are not busy, they are wasting their time. But this is not right, because being calm and having time, not hours, but just a little time to be quiet or sit in a cozy corner and have a tea. This is also part of a life, and you don't have to earn this. It is, you are worth it. You can do this. And Hygge means you have the environment to do so. And this is really, really nice. Just go through your things and look, what do I need? What is good for me? Not for your neighbor, not for your colleagues, not for anybody else. What do you need and how do you feel good in your home? A very basic mindset of the Swedish culture is the word lagom. This means not too much, not too less, just the right amount. And it means just the right amount for you, because this comparison we have in our work life, for example, and also in our private life, when we look, oh, what does the neighbor have and what is the newest car they drive and something like this is not good for our mental health. Lagom means you are looking at yourself and you see, okay, what is it what I need? What is it what is good for me? And this comparison and this status behavior, which we have every day when we look around, this is not a healthy one. Because do you need the sports car? Do you need the weekend, I don't know, wherever your neighbor goes on vacation? Is it what you need, or is it that you have to compare yourself with somebody? which may be not even important to you. So Lagom means you look at yourself and you see that you don't have less things, but you don't have too much things. And the comparison is not important. This has also to do with the idea that the one person is not so important and that the community is a very important thing. Because, for example, here in Norland, when you live very remote, you are dependent on the help of others when something happens or so. And it is important that you are part of this community and that you are a good part of this community where the other people can rely on. So you are an individual and you have your strength, you have your things, you have your life, but you don't compare every time. And this Lagom does something with you, because when you are concentrating on yourself and when you are asking yourself what is good for you and what is the right amount for me, then you feel relief because it is not important what your neighbor has. So you see, Lagom is a very good way of, it's like a middle way. Another important thing is the work-life balance. You know, we in Sweden have around 30 hours of work every week. And I know this is not very much, because in the most European countries you have a lot more hours to work every week. But this is part of our cultivated work-life balance, because we think we don't have only the work in our life, we also have a private life. And this mindset is very important, because the cultivation of our work behavior and our private behavior is depending on this. So it is about that you work so you can live, and not you live so you can work all the time. It is not rewarded in somebody's mind if you stay longer in the office and if you make more tasks than you should do on one day. And when you did a reasonable amount of your work, and when you did everything which is needed this day, then you go home, because you know you have a private life. And this is a very healthy mindset, because it shows a balance which you have in your life, and that work is only a part of this, what you are doing in your life, and it is not the one thing which characterizes you. And it is also very beautiful, because there is a lot of space beside your work which you can fill with things which make you happy. And this is very important, that you have this space, that you have time for your sport, that you have time for your hobbies, that you have time for your family, of course, that you have time for your friends, and a very important thing, that you have time for yourself. Because nowadays I have the impression that a lot of people are doing things and doing things and doing things, and they can't breathe anymore because of all the scheduled things they have to do, even in their spare time. And this is a thing we don't do here in Sweden. We create a lot of moments where we can have time for ourselves, and time where we can recharge our batteries, where we can have a calm and quiet moment for ourselves, and where we can have a little time to think about things, or to think nothing, to just listen to music or have some coffee or something like this. And of course, I know when you have children, it sounds like impossible to do. But when you have, for example, an office where you can have flexible times in the morning where you can start your work, it may be helping you to organize your day in a better way when you have children, when you want to bring them to school or pick them up or something like this. And it helps you to organize the day so that it is more convenient for you and your family. Another thing which is connected to this is that the time you are being at work, you have not the feeling this is your whole life. You know, when it is done, you can go home and you can have all the things you like to do, you can meet the people you want to meet. And it is very healthy, because you have such a wider perspective of life. You have the work and you have your own life. You have the work ideas and you have your private mind and your private ideas. You have your space where you have maybe to fulfill a role, and you have the space where you can just be yourself. And this is a mindset which lowers your stress level enormously, I think. Yeah, so maybe you can have a look at your everyday life and your everyday schedule, and you can make little changes there, and you will see it helps to reduce your stress, and it fills you with a little more satisfaction that you can handle everything. And when you have difficulties to do this, you can make a list. You can make a to-do list, for example, which not a big one, but just a short one for every day. So you are not overwhelmed by this, but you can do it, and then you can get a structure in your everyday life, which is better for you, better for your family, and which helps you to keep organized even when you have time for yourself. And this is really, really nice. Beside this, before I come to our next point, it is Fika, having a coffee break. I will have one and I get a coffee. I will be back in 1 second. Yeah, back again with a good coffee. Besides, this is one of my favorite cups. You see, it looks maybe a little like the Northern Lights. Can you see it? Yeah, the Fika, what does it mean? It means coffee time. It means a little break in your everyday life. It means a little break in your work life. And also when you are at home, you can do it wherever and whenever you want. But fika means more than just having a coffee and some sweets or some pastry. It means having deliberately scheduled a break in whatever you are doing. And it means not drinking a coffee and scrolling on your cell phone or going through your emails. It means having a coffee and having a pause. So maybe you talk to somebody, or maybe you just sit there and look outside of the window. You listen to the birds. You have a little spare time and free time in your mind. You come to a little rest and a little calmness. And fika doesn't mean you have to earn that you have a little break. It is just a scheduled break that you can have in your workflow, that you can have to recharge your batteries, that you can have just to have a little reset in your everyday life. And it is very good because you can feel fresher after this. You can feel more energized after this. And it is proven that the productivity, for example, for your work is way better when you have little breaks and you can work again, as when you are working and working and working and you are very exhausted because you don't come to take a breath anymore. So you can cultivate this idea of a fika wherever you are, and it doesn't cost anything, but it has a great benefit for your energy and for your work also. And it is a nice thing to do because when you're doing this in an office, for example, you can have a talk to your colleagues or to your friends when you see them. And it is like a little social room in your work environment where you can have another mindset as when you're sitting on your desk or in front of your computer. It is a really nice thing to do. Good one. The next interesting concept I want to talk about comes from the Finnish word Sisu, and this means a stoic bravery. So you keep in a situation even when it is difficult or when you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, but you keep pushing and you keep working because you don't lose your aim. You know your target, you know what you want to accomplish, and so you go through it. It is no big deal. You don't have to say, oh, look what I have done. Oh, look what I have to do and how brave I am. No, just do it. Because when you reach your goal and when you have finished what you have wanted to do, then it shows in your life that you have success, and it shows for yourself that you can be brave about it. You don't have to make a story out of it, how hard it was and how big a deal it was, and that you finally faced it. And I really like it because it is also one more time about yourself. It is not you producing and painting a picture of you for the outer world or for your neighbors or something like this. It is about your goals and what you want to achieve and how you achieve it, and that you can do it. This is the most important part of all. Another very important skill we have developed here in the northern countries is the trust in the society and the social trust you have to your environment and about strangers or institutions or everybody who lives around you. What does it mean? I mean, it is not a personal skill, but it is a skill of many personalities, of many people. And altogether, it makes you feel better as an individual. That when you, for example, want to buy something and the shops are closed, you very often find things displayed on the road. You have a table in front of the shop, and on this table, there are, for example, some potatoes or some flowers or some juice or something, and you have a little card, and there is said what it costs, and you can pay it with your cell phone. So you can take it and pay it, and nobody is there who controls you. And this is because you are trusted, and it works. You will not believe it, but it works. So if everybody is trustworthy and everybody behaves in this good way, so society can count on it. And this creates a very nice environment of trust and like friendship, even if you don't know the persons. I personally have made the experience that I have been to a shop, for example, and I forgot my purse and I couldn't pay. And they said, okay, take the things, but when you're home, please give the money to us. And of course I did. This is a very, very nice thing, and this makes the life so much easier. And this is not the only example. When you go to a cafe or something like this, the people leave their babies outside, their toddlers in the strollers when they sleep, for example, and they trust that nobody will harm them, and people don't. You look after each other, and you look after your neighbors, you look after your community. It is on every level of living together. And if you want to have something positive personally from it, then I can say maybe you can bring yourself in your community. You can do something in your community. You can be active in some sort of team or organization or something like this. And every little bit and every little person who supports this kind of living together makes the world a little better, I think. Now I want to come back to one thing I mentioned earlier. It is the to-do list, because when you have a lot of things to do and a lot of things on your mind, you become overwhelmed very quickly. And such a little list can help to make the things easier for you. It has not to be a very big one, but it has to be just a list where the next very important things are written on. It can be a list for one day, it can be a list for a week, but I think not longer, because you want to have an oversight over the things to do. Because when it is too much, then you get frightened and you won't do anything. So think about what is the next important thing you want to do or you want to achieve. Write it on the list. It gives you a structure while you write it down, and it gives you a good feeling of satisfaction when you have done it and when you can tick the box. And it helps you not to lose your oversight of the things you want to do or you have to do. So if you do this and integrate it in your everyday life, I think it helps structuring your daily routine, and it helps you to keep an oversight and to see that you can manage the things, that it is not too much you have to do, because you break it down in little pieces and then you can do it step by step. Because this step by step doing things helps you not to lose control and to feel able to do the things you have to do. Another benefit of writing a to-do list is when you have written it down, you can have it out of your mind. So you have it out of your head and you're not forced to think about it all day long and to think, oh, I'm not allowed to forget this or that. So even when you can't do all the things of your list, you have written it down, you have a structure, you have it visualized what you have to do, and you can feel calmer, because not calmer, but calmer, because you see how you want to do it and when you want to do it. And this is a good thing, which makes you a lot less stressed. Another habit we have here in Sweden, it is a tiny one, but it is a very good one, is that we take the shoes off every time we come into a house or into an apartment or something like this. On one hand, it has practical reasons. Of course, you don't want to bring the mud in or the snow or the gravel or whatever it is where you live. But on the other hand, it is like a sign, because it is a sign of trust. You come into the apartment of another person and you are vulnerable because you have no shoes. You can't run away. You want to be there. You just don't turn around and rush outside. You show the other person that you respect the privacy, that you respect the cozy home and the clean home somebody has. So it is a lot of aspects about these to take your shoes off. It's not only the dirt. And I really like this because it has also to do with the feeling you have when you enter somebody's home. When you have your shoes on, you don't feel anything with your feet. But when you go on your socks or you go barefoot, then you can feel the floor, for example, and you can feel where you are. You can feel the environment in which you are. And this is all different points which makes this little habit such a nice one. The last habit I want to mention is to establish little daily rituals which accompany you through your day. It can start in the morning when you have a little walk, or maybe a yoga session in the morning, a short one, or something like this. Or in the evening, for example, when you have your cozy home and you go to your favorite armchair, have some tea or grab a book or something like this, listen to music for 10 minutes. It is like islands in your everyday life to which you can look forward to, and which helps you to calm down in the stress of the day, and which helps you to get maybe a little other perspective of a situation. And when you do it every day, then it becomes a daily habit. And this is good because it breaks your day into segments, and you can have different times of day, and you feel not overwhelmed by getting up, working, and making one task after the other. It helps you to have a pause between things. And if you feel stressed, and if you have a lot of kids or a lot of work or whatever, then you can prepare things, for example, at the evening before, so you can have a little more time in the morning. It's just about your organization. But having little daily rituals is very helpful to structure the day and to find some calmness even in a busy day. So these are the 10 Nordic habits I personally find worth looking at it and think about it. And you can see that the Nordic way and the Nordic view of happiness is not a big achievement or something you are heading for. It is creating small, good moments in your everyday life. Everything you heard today doesn't mean you have to move to Sweden to be happy, but it means maybe you can make a little shift in your mindset. You can have new thoughts about things you have already done in one way or the other, and that you can have a new perspective on things, so you can find a better structure maybe, or a better way to organize things, and you can listen to yourself, and you can listen what makes you happy. So this is what I wanted to share with you today, and please let me know in the comments which resonates with you. What do you think is the most important? If you find it interesting, or if you think even that something is missing, let me know. I'm curious about it. So if you want to see more about the Nordic life and my everyday life, for example, you can click on the other videos. I hope to see you there. I show you where I live, what I do every day, what I do when I go on my adventures. Just check it out, or check my playlist out. I really appreciate it. If you liked what you see, subscribe. I'm happy for everybody who joins our community, and I see you in my next video. Bye!